I'm pretty sure I talked about this before years ago, like when I do the back in my prepper days or whatever. Um, but let's assume that in the future there's going to be some form of upheaval as far as our economy. Things might possibly turn around. Could be a slump. Could get real bad. Whatever the case is. Um, and I think a lot of people are going to have to fall back on their trade skills. When I say trade skills, you might be what do they call it? I call them paper writers, guys that do like, I'm going through a refinance right now. So you got this guy you're dealing with that's doing all the paperwork, processing it, putting it in front of the loan companies, the banks, trying to get this, that, handing more paper, this and that. Great job, great career, good money maker. But in a debt economy, he's probably going to be looking for work. Okay. If he has a trade to fall back on or some sort of skill, he can get paid. Okay. Might not be a career, but he can get paid. Your hard skills, this kind of thing. Different example might be working for a big company, or maybe you work in retail or something like that. But as those jobs may go bye, your job may be gone. Can you fall back on some sort of trade or skill that you have? I'll give you an example of a couple. But let's say you may be a younger guy. Maybe you don't have any other trades or skills. Now would be the time, while there is an economy and we have some money in our pocket. May not be a lot, but we have some money available. And the fact that right now information is flowing. You can get on YouTube and you can learn all this stuff. You don't have to go to school. And these are just a few trades that I can think of offhand. Ones that I've had personal experience with that I know you can get paid for what you're doing. Especially in a tough economy. First one is, can you weld? Okay. By and large, for if you look at the big picture of what I did in welding, I am a terrible welder. Okay. But I have 3 different welders. I got generators that operate my welders. I can go someplace far away and do welding. I did pipe fencing, all this kind of stuff. But typically, I never, like right now when I weld, I might not weld for 6 months, and then I got to do something and have it done yesterday. And so I slop it together, I get it done, take it back to work, part I had to create or something. But given time, I mean, I'm comfortable, I'm confident with it. It's just not pretty. But without I mean, I probably have 15 grand in welding equipment. You don't need to have that much. You can buy with far less than that. Even a little stick weld or whatever. But you can pick up a little bit of skill. It takes practice. You can learn the skill on YouTube. It takes practice, welding stuff together, cutting it up, this kind of thing. And with a little bit of equipment, you can be I would say welder. People say, oh, it takes years of experience and you got to be... No. If someone brings you 2 pieces of metal, you can put together. Okay? That thing broke, you can fix, most metals, you can put this back together. And you can get paid. Okay? You get to eat today. All right? YouTube, Harbor Freight has a lot of equipment. You can start practicing now. You can get it pretty cheap. Learn how to weld 2 pieces of metal together. Then maybe grind it, clean it up. Maybe learn how to create some holes. You'd be surprised if you had a drill press, if you can make a hole. That's a real important thing. Good skill to have. But that is a little money maker. You might be the only guy in your area that can weld. And you get paid. Another one was tire repair. Now, I had a neighbor that did this. He had a sign out front that said, welder, tire repair. And he was mad busy. When I say tire repair, I'm not talking about necessarily balancing and all this kind of fancy stuff. A guy brings a tire and he's got a hole in it. It's leaking air. It doesn't hold air. Maybe it had a tube. You can patch the tube. You buy the little patch, put it on the tube. Or you'll go in with the ones I typically use are the plugs. You drill a hole. Wherever the hole is, you'll drill it, clean it, lube this thing up with glue. You slap this thing in. It's real. I've done thousands of them on golf carts, my trucks, this thing. You can go and buy patches, plugs, and all the equipment you need for probably less than $100. Get loads of that stuff and fix 100 tires. Okay, you can go buy your auto parts store and buy this kind of stuff, store it, and you can learn how to do it on YouTube. It's not brain surgery. It's very simple. fixing a tube, or fixing a tube that isn't a tire, or fixing a tire with a hole in it, this kind of stuff. If you need to remove the tire from the rim, which I know how to do, go down to Harbor Freight and get one of those very simple Chinese, breaks the bead, does that. It's all manual, but you could pop a tire off the wheel and then put it back on. Once again, all over YouTube. There's millions of videos on how to do this on YouTube. And if things that you might say, well, I don't know if that's going to be a real moneymaker. Yeah, not in this economy. But if things ever really got bad, and you could do that, you could repair a tire and take one off, put it back on, you're going to get paid today. Okay? You get to eat today. A little welding, a little tire repair, you can go a long way with that. Especially when people maybe they can't afford to go to shops to get 4 new tires. Maybe there ain't no shops around selling tires. You never know. The other one, and this one boggles the mind, but as a landlord, I really had to learn this. Now, there's a guy I actually call and pay. He's very reputable. This is all he does is unclog drains. Something I never had to deal with until I became a landlord. I have a large commercial snake. I got smaller snakes. This thing you send down the line, plug it in, it starts, this kind of breaking through these clogged lines. That's in a home, in kitchen sinks. Someone's toilets are backing up, and they've got something clogged, something going on in their septic line. As long as it's not a full tank, you can break this thing open. Nobody wants to work with someone's clogged pipes or clogged septic, which is why they pay a lot for it. See, not a whole lot of, there's competition, but it's not, nobody wants to mess with that stuff. So they're willing to pay someone else anything to get that done. Once again, it is not rocket science. If you can unclog a drain, if you can open up someone's septic line and get their crap out of the house, you're golden. You could eat for a week. And so, like this said, those things are all available. I got 3 sizes of snakes for that kind of thing, just that I've acquired since I've been a landlord. I had to do this many times. Now I pay a guy to do this. But if I ever have enough experience, I know if I had to go down the street to someone's place, I can get their stuff unclogged. There's little tricks of the trade, and get paid for it. And that's big. You can't imagine how this guy I know that does it. He's busy all the time, and he's 24/7, and he makes a very good living, but doing something that no one else wants to do, and they pay good money for that kind of stuff. Another one too is if you ever, I think I did a video on this once years ago. Do you know when you flush your toilet, do you know where it goes? Okay, most of you probably live in a tract home. You're on the city system. It goes out into the under the street where there's a big pipe that hauls it off to some processing place and all that. But a lot of people they have their own septic system, sewer system. And they get old, they fall apart, the pipes come apart. It's not often, but it happens. We just had how many? I think I've had the same guy put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different septic tank systems. I've seen it done, okay, and there's big money in that, but there's also big equipment. But if you know how a septic system works, there's your toilet. Another thing too, if you know how a toilet works, the guts of a toilet, you ever pop the lid off a toilet and see the inside of how the float, how it fills up, what the processes are, how it's a gravity thing and all this. It's amazing. It's an amazing piece of equipment. But if you know how, most people have no idea. You can repair a toilet, replace the guts, you can get paid. If you get that thing opened up where it's flowing again and all that, you understand the septic system, you can maybe diagnose it because you got a little bit of knowledge, you're going to get paid. Great skill to have. And you've probably seen this on YouTube if you've been that bored, where someone will maybe they have an off-grid setup, and they dig and put in their own septic system. Usually it consists of 3 55-gallon drums, the pipe traveling through it, and it goes off to a leach line, gravel packed, and all this kind of stuff. You think, well, you wonder if that will ever work. It does. I've built 5 of them. Okay. We have in 5 different locations. They're all in use every day. It's not like it's some off-grid cabin somewhere. We have these. We've built these. They work. They work every day, and they're still working. Amazing. The first time we built one, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. They're brilliant. You might have your own system. You might have someone else's where our septic system is shot. Well, if you could round up the material, which is basic material, you could put a new septic system in for someone or yourself. You're going to get paid again. Okay. Once again, doing something that takes a little bit of skill, a little bit of knowledge, which you can get here on YouTube, and then just a shovel, some effort to put this thing in and understand gravity. It's a moneymaker. I had the guy that put in the 5-6 systems we have. He drives Italian cars, getting paid well to do things that other people don't want to do. But anyhow, if you could think of any other ideas, just something to share, maybe some younger guys don't have the knowledge that maybe the older guys do. But these are things that if things ever got bad enough, these are little tricks that could get you paid, get you fed, keep that roof over your head, and keep your pantry full. So something to think about. Like I said, I talked about welding. We talked about tire repair, which is a straight up winner. Welding, tire repair, unclogging drains, understanding the septic system, learning how to build a simple septic system, and lift that toilet lid. Look at the guts of that thing. Understand how a toilet works. All of those get you paid. Love you. God bless.